We're gonna get into some into the history of Halloween. Since this is October, and Halloween is part of the tradition of this holiday season. And I enjoy Halloween. I used to take my kids out trick-or-treating and whatnot. But the Catholic, not so much the Catholic Church, the Church in general, religious people have really had a kind of frown down on it because they think it's satanic and everything. But the problem is here with that line of thinking is that they don't realize that a lot of the history of the church or of the holiday came from religion, and that just blows my mind that they don't realize that. Like, for example, it was heavily influenced by the holy days. It was All Saints Day, was known as Hallows or All Hallows or Hallowtide and All Souls Day. It was falling between November 1st and 2nd, respectively, and it was ordered by the Church by Pope Gregory IV to make it an observance back in 837. So it just blows my mind that the people nowadays, they've completely forgotten where the history of this holiday comes from. And we're going to start the clock. Joe, give us your thoughts on this.
Yeah, Halloween, according to some of the articles I've read, is quite possibly one of the oldest holidays that humans practice. Mainly because it's based around harvest.
Mm-hmm.
It's based around a season changing. It's where life is ending in the fall or autumn, and for the winter, life is very stagnant, and then, in the spring, life comes back.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of death associated with that time of year. The leaves fall off the trees, things like that. A lot of the history of what we currently celebrate as Halloween goes back to Celtic times,
mm-hmm.
and they had a lot of celebrating the dead. The dead can walk again during that time. There's English customs where the poor would dress up and they would ask for food or money, and this came over to America. The Puritans in New England, they didn't really want to have much to do with it because they were kind of like, oh, that's whatever. But in the southern states where there was more Catholics and more Central European immigrants, and then they kind of held on to it a little bit. And then in the 1840s and on, the United States had a big surge of Irish immigrants during the potato famine.
Mm-hmm.
And so they brought with them a lot of these Halloween customs, which go back to, I think did you mention Gregory III?
Great. I think it was
Pope Gregory III.
Yeah,
I think was the one who tried to make Halloween a Catholic holiday.
I think it was Pope Gregory IV, actually.
One of them.
Yeah.
Pope Gregory the something.
Pope
Gregory the Packard.
Yeah, Pope Gregory the Packard.
Pope Gregory the Packard, he was like, all right, they're having these pagan festivals, and it's all devil stuff.
Oh.
So we got to have it more Catholic stuff.
Yeah,
so they made it All Saints Day, All Martyrs Day, that kind of stuff. And so the Irish immigrants during the potato famine brought that to America, and people got together and just celebrated.
Yeah.
They ate harvest foods, pumpkin pie and.
Right. And Joe, that's time.
All right, good. I'm done bullshitting.
Thanks, Joe. Wayne, when we'll reset the clock, and your 2 minutes starts now.
All right, yeah, Joe. My interesting, the thing that I thought was interesting, looking back at the history of this, is that yes, it's an old, ancient tradition, and we've had it for a long time. But really, it was kind of the British Isles, the United Kingdom, that area, England, Wales, not so much England as much, but Wales, Ireland, Scotland. They are the ones that really kept it alive and held on to it, and they're the ones that really practice it. And it's only just in the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years that it's actually starting to spread across the world. But now it's becoming a huge holiday worldwide. There's nowhere near Christmas yet, of course.
No.
But a lot of countries in the Netherlands and Sweden, Norway, that way, they're just now getting into it. You know, other countries around the world are starting to finally pick up on that. Hey, this is a pretty good holiday. But it's really only like in the U.S. Like Joe said, after the potato famine, the Irish bringing it over. The Americans, we really didn't observe it, and they just kind of kept it alive. And then in the 1900s, I guess it started picking up in the U.S. And then I've always thought it was a great holiday. It's my favorite holiday.
Yeah. Well, you have 30 seconds more there, Wayne. Do you want to use them?
I think it's enough.
Okay. Yeah, the thing is with the Celtics, that they use this actually, from what I understand, if I remember, I heard this right or I read it right somewhere. I don't remember which one it was, but apparently that they used to use this as their New Year's Day or their New Year's Eve and New Year's Day also. So there was a lot of that going on. They would use that to celebrate too, and the dressing up part was so they would scare away any spirits away from the people during that time of the year, and the treats that the kids go around saying trick or treat would be the ones where they would leave out the food for the travelers that were scaring these spirits away. The holiday is really interesting, and I think we should really cover it a little bit more because there is so much more to this, and this is the best time of the year to actually speak about it. So we'll cover this a little bit more during the month, and if it gets a little old, we'll switch into something else. But for right now, if you have some comments that you'd like to leave for this portion of the show, and you're watching us here on YouTube, just put in the comment section down here below. And
tell us what you're going to dress up as.
What am I going to dress up as?
No, in the comments. Tell us what.
Oh yeah, Jay, in the comments. Yeah, in the comments below, tell us what you're dressing up as and what kind of spirits are you kind of try to drive away with what you're wearing. Sure, why not? But yeah, put it in the comments section down below, and we'll read your comments on the air for next week.